I want to learn the mysterious art of remote viewing, and I found the perfect guy to teach me. His name is Paul Smith, and he is a veteran of Project Stargate. You would never know it, though, if you met the guy. He looks like the kind of guy you'd just like to have a beer with at a barbecue. I've also asked professional skeptic DJ Grothe to come along for the ride. He's the president of the James Randi Foundation, a group that offers $1 million to anyone that can prove that they have psychic abilities. He believes that remote viewing is all hype. And now it's time to see who's right. What's happening?
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Paul,
Good to see you.
Nice Good to see you as well. I'm very excited about this. Very excited to, from your point of view, learn remote viewing, and from your point of view, prove that it's
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we'll have to get blindfolded, I guess, and hop in this van. Let's do it. Somewhere on this ranch is a target. If remote viewing works, we'll be able to see it with our minds. Both DJ and I are trying to remote view the same target, me with training from Paul and DJ on his own. But in order to prevent any of us from accidentally seeing the target, we're going to wear these fashionable blindfolds. But we're here, so take those stupid things off and let's head on inside. DJ, you need to be sequestered, sir. Thank you. How did you come to learn remote viewing?
I had been sent to Fort Meade, Maryland, to work in a Middle East analyst position. And they said, we want you to take some psychology tests. We think you might be good at what we do. And what we do is we collect intelligence against foreign threats using a parapsychology skill known as remote viewing. You can think of it as a form of clairvoyance. We essentially want you to become a psychic spy. And I said, where do I sign?
Coming up. I mean, that looks exactly like that. If you look at the image right here and you look at that, it's virtually exactly what it is.
We essentially want you to become a psychic spy. And I said, where do I sign?
I'm with remote viewer Paul Smith, a veteran of Project Stargate. He's teaching me how to be a psychic spy, while professional skeptic DJ Grothe waits in an isolated room. What is the most significant thing you personally have remote viewed?
So I started getting the impression of a large metallic structure in a closed body of water, which I soon realized was some kind of vessel, and I interpreted it as an American warship, probably a destroyer. Subsequently, I perceived an aircraft, and it dropped one or two small cylindrical objects. Monday morning, I opened up the Washington Post. U.S. frigate hit by Iraqi Exocet missiles. I essentially, in great detail, described an attack on an American warship that didn't happen until 50 hours after I had perceived it.
Oh, okay, that's even weirder. So
Yes.
remote viewing is not just being able to see things that are there, but the ability to see things that haven't even taken place yet?
To an extent. We talk about remote viewing being independent of space and time.
What uses have been shown for remote viewing since then?
Obvious uses, supporting police departments and things like that, and some of that has occurred. But it's been used for investment more than anything. Stock market, sports betting,
Do you do that?
commodities trading. I have done it, yes. And I can't tell you how much we made because I tried to stay out of the money part of it. The problem is if you're the remote viewer, you don't want to get emotionally involved in the outcome because
I see.
that messes up the viewing, right?
Right, enough talking. You gotta show me how to remote view.
This is what we call an outbounder or a beacon experiment. And the idea is that if you have a person that you know who is at a location, it's a lot easier to home in on that location because you can find that person and then find the setting that they're in. Okay? So we will sit at a table.
As the outbounder team heads to the target, Paul is gonna try to coach me to tune my mind into their minds and actually see what they're seeing. Professional skeptic DJ Grothe in the other room is gonna try to do the same thing.
First thing is you want to relax. You know, the goal is just to focus in on where they're at. And it isn't that you're trying to read their minds. You're trying to focus on where they are, place your consciousness there with them, and describe the setting in which they find themselves. Is it bright? Is it dim? Is it shadowy? Is it in between? Is it whatever? And write down relevant material to that.
I don't see anything.
So, okay, so remember your consciousness is there. Keep your eyes open, actually, in this case. Get your pen on the paper. What comes to mind when you think color about this target? Describe a color that you perceive. You can also try sounds. How does it sound to be there? Is there anything coming into your imagination? You're visualizing anything at all?
If you believe the experiment at the Rhine Institute, I was able to raise my psychic energy. Maybe I can do it again.
That's just random.
Sure,
Random.
that's fine. Random is better than nothing, right? Try to focus on shapes. And if you get some pronounced shapes, sketch those down. Okay, write down end at 4:20 p.m.
Now we're gonna go to the location and see if any of these images match any of the things that are there.
Excellent.
When the experiment is over, we're gonna get to see who is better at remote viewing. Me, with training from Paul, or DJ, who's just guessing.
What we do now is compare what we can find that might be similar and what is different, maybe.
Okay, because I am a skeptic of remote viewing,
Uh-huh.
I didn't draw images. I didn't get my soul out of my body, go somewhere else, look around. I just, jotted down some ideas.
Okay?
Pastel blue. So I see a pastel blue thing there. I see man-made structure, but not a house. Overhang, but not four walls, only pillar and post. So that makes sense.
So the skeptic, the guy who doesn't believe in any of this, got pretty good results.
This was the first thing that came to my mind, a square and the color red. I look over there, I see a square sign, and it's a red image on it. This thing could be anything.
Could be the pump jack.
I mean,
yeah.
that looks exactly like that, really. If you look at the image right here and you look at that, it's virtually exactly what it is.
The temptation is to make what is on your paper fit the target, match the target, right? And sometimes it actually is a real match. And then other times it's just you're really wishing it was a hit.
Right.
Perhaps I think you ought to maybe be a little surprised that what you did put down at least does correlate with what's here. It's not strong enough of a hit to be a confirmation, but at least is suggestive that maybe you were getting something.
The one's the most shocking to me is the first one I wrote down, which is the square and red. I mean, it literally is exactly what I'm looking at right there. That's kind of weird.
Both of our guesses or viewings or whatever you'd call it have a number of hits.
Maybe you were a remote viewing, you didn't even know it, dude.
Don't tell the other skeptics. I'm actually psychic. It's deep cover, right?
I like it. I like how you rock it.